In a forgotten old farmhouse, where the forest met the field and the road came to an end, this incident began. The long-awaited rain had finally brought life to this corner of American countryside. The villagers had eagerly anticipated the rain, as their lands had thirsted and suffered. Their road led to a vine-covered house, where roses had bloomed and children's laughter had filled the air more than half a century ago. Now it lay forgotten and abandoned. Only one window on the second floor remained lit over the countless years. The villagers avoided this place like it was cursed, but on this rainy evening, fate skillfully wove its threads. Rachel, a young woman with luscious chestnut hair, decided to spend the evening at the house. She had come from the bustling city, seeking to escape its hustle and enjoy the tranquility of nature. In her quest to find her place in the world, she had bought the house and made it into a cozy sanctuary. She felt fortunate to have found such a wondrous place, and the rain only added to its charm. When Rachel arrived home, she decided it was the perfect time to have a long-awaited romantic dinner for herself. She lit the candles and played jazz music on the record player. The sound of the saxophone filled the house, and Rachel began to prepare her meal. Meanwhile, outside the window, raindrops tapped on the glass, creating a special ambience. Dinner was prepared and laid out on the table in the dining room, right across from an open window with a view of the pouring rain and the dense forest. Rachel sat down to eat, but before she could begin, a strange feeling overcame her, as if someone was watching her. She glanced out the window and saw something unusual. Standing at the edge of the forest was a tall, old oak tree. It seemed ancient and mighty, its trunk dark and mysterious. But the most astonishing thing was a weathered, cobweb-covered photograph hanging on the oak's trunk. Rachel got up to get a closer look. The photograph depicted a family portrait, likely from a past century. It showed a family, a man, a woman, and 2 children. Their smiles appeared genuine, but their eyes seemed to be watching Rachel from across time. She had never seen this family before and had no idea how the photograph ended up there. With puzzlement, Rachel returned inside and sat back at the table, ready to enjoy her dinner. She decided that it must be a strange coincidence and chose to ignore it. However, something unusual began to happen as soon as she started eating. At first, it was only faint rustling sounds in the house, as if someone was quietly shuffling across the floor. Rachel jumped up from the table and started searching for the source of the noise. She followed the sound to the door of an old pantry beneath the staircase. When she opened the pantry door, she discovered something incredible. Inside the pantry was a second floor of the house, something she had never noticed before. A staircase lit up, and Rachel decided to explore this unexpected passage. As she climbed the stairs, Rachel felt the creaky old farmhouse stairs beneath her feet. When she reached the second floor, she found herself in an antique bedroom, filled with dusty furniture and aged artifacts. Rachel felt her heart pounding as she realized that this place seemed frozen in time. On a bedside table lay an open book with a message on the page that sent shivers down her spine. Leave this house before it is too late. Outside the bedroom window, Rachel saw the rain pouring down, now heavy as if from buckets, and its tapping became louder. She knew something was wrong and decided to head back downstairs. She descended the stairs and returned to the corridor. However, the dining room was no longer the same as before. Instead of a cozy room with candles and music, she saw a gloomy space flooded with water. The table was covered in mold and dirt, and the candles had extinguished, leaving only a cold glow. Even the jazz record now stood on an uneven table and played in reverse. Rachel looked around in fear, realizing that she was no longer in her own home. She was in some distorted world, where time and space had interwoven in a bewildering chaos. She had to cross the flooded dining room, which now resembled an underwater realm, to return to the hallway. As she climbed the stairs to the first floor, Rachel felt that something was following her. A shadow had crept up behind her, and she felt a breath on the back of her neck. She turned around, but saw no one. When she finally reached the first floor, she found that the house had returned to its normal state. The door to the pantry beneath the stairs was closed, and she couldn't to believe what she had just experienced. Rachel rushed outside, into the fresh rain, hoping it would help her make sense of it all. She looked at the old oak tree, but the photograph was no longer there. The entire nightmare seemed to have vanished, as if it had never happened. Back inside the house, Rachel sat on the couch, trying to comprehend what had occurred. She understood that this rainy evening in the countryside concealed a mystery, one that was both frightening and enigmatic, but she couldn't find an explanation for what had transpired. Since that day, Rachel never witnessed any strange events in her house again, but she knew that something unusual and eerie lay hidden within its walls. Every time she gazed at the old oak tree in the forest, she felt it held secrets of the past, present, and future, and rainy evenings in the countryside were never as peaceful and serene as they used to be.